What's going on, Jeromes? Beautiful day for some Q&A. Let's fire it up. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. Periodically put out on the community tab, so let's get it going. First up, Wesley White. OG Jerome. If Darrisaw misses the sum of the season, could we see Jackson move to tackle and Brandel to guard? So we're going to go over this at some point this week a little bit more in depth. I know that one of the selling points of Jackson is the tackle flexibility because of what he did last year at The Ohio State, but he's going to be your starting guard for ideally a decade, and may as well just get it started, right? Because even though Ohio State blue blood program as well as national title run, that's great, but getting to the NFL, having to learn two positions right away, nah. Just have him be at left guard, be good to go there. And if Darrisaw does have to miss time, think about it as like Brandel came into the league as a left tackle out of Oregon State, 6th round, 2020. So it could be that. It could be Justin School. It could be Walter Rouse. So the Vikings have options. And I would prefer that versus moving Jackson up, down, all around, because Darrisaw will be back if he does miss any time at all. Like, he could be good to start the year. But I would prefer that versus moving Jackson back and forth. Snip, snap, snip, snap. Yeah. So the Vikings will have options. Next. Wesley White again. Any thoughts on the Vikings maybe going for Rasul Douglas? The Vikings are pretty good at squeezing last drops out of these type of veterans, and that does speak to the Moneyball approach. Like, Rasul Douglas would be the David Justice of the Oakland A's for the Vikings this year. And Douglas, he does have a nice track record of being a ball hawk. Certainly does get after things. 79 career passes broken up, 19 career interceptions. But last year, it just wasn't there for the Bills. But at this point, the comp pick window is closed, and I do think that Douglas could bring a little something. Although, as we said ad nauseum, I actually like where the Vikings cornerback room is at with Blackmon, Murph. We'll talk about Blackmon here in a sec. Rogers, who they see as a 3-down player or every down player. Nudie and Nakuda. Tavier Thomas can play the slot pretty well as well. Plus, the guys like Ambry Thomas, I think, has some upside. Reddy Stewart, the former Bear. So the Vikings have talent and they have options in the cornerback room, especially since that pass rush, especially the 4-man pass rush, getting souped up, is going to make everyone better. It's going to be good to go. But overall, Rasul Douglas, I do like, but we'll see. Also in that cornerback room, the DJ, that's my DJ. Do you think my favorite players, Jalen Speedy Naylor and Mekhi Blackmon, will rise up, become mainstays on the team, or have the same roles as before? So with Naylor, the Naylor situation is a little bit complicated as of right now. So when Naylor was in last year at the start of last season, he was great when Addison was out with that ankle injury. Now, Addison probably going to miss 3 games with the suspension coming up. And Naylor, in a contract year, also wearing number 1 now. Like to see that. He could build on last year's success. He had 6 touchdowns, career high. It did leave some meat on the bone. Like that Rams play in the first game. A little bit frustrating. But you do have Rondale Moore, although Moore may not be fully healthy and fully good to go until training camp. Ty Felton obviously adds something to the equation. So we're going to see. Like, Naylor is a tough, feisty competitor. Jefferson loves him to death. And I think that competition never hurt anybody, and no one has just handed anything on this team. So it wouldn't shock me if Naylor rises up and has a phenomenal contract year, especially given opportunity since Addison may be missing some time. But with Felton and Rondale Moore champing at the bit, I think that Speedy may be good to go. And with Blackmon, I love Blackmon, man. And we said this like 17,000 times. He was penciled in to potentially start last year before he tore his ACL on the first day of Vikings training camp. And remember, the Vikings didn't sign Gilmore until after Mekhi Blackmon. They had already visited, they already checked the box, but I do think that Blackmon could eventually work his way in to be the third cornerback for the Vikings. And going back to his rookie season when he was a 3rd-round pick back in the day out of USC, remember, Blackmon was the first cornerback selection when Flores was in the house consulting with the draft, right? So obviously there's some confidence there, but he only played 434 snaps as a rookie, 71.8 PFF coverage rate, which is 3rd amongst all rookie cornerbacks. Didn't miss a tackle, didn't have any penalties, 8 passes broken up and a pick. Quarterback rating 87.8 when thrown at, which is which is good. So overall, like the limited track record that we saw from Blackmon in the Flores scheme was good. And by all accounts, there's no limitations on him coming back from the ACL. So I think that Blackmon may be a guy that a lot of people are sleeping on. And don't do that, man. Tony Jacobson. Who was your biggest draft crush that the media jabronis said wouldn't cut it, but they absolutely crushed it? Max Crosby. And I'm still pissed off about this. So Max Crosby fell to the 5th round, the pride of Eastern Michigan. I love this kid's story. So he was very lightly recruited. Played high school ball in Texas. He and his mom literally drove to Ypsilanti, nailed it, Eastern Michigan, and basically just said, like, please let me play here. And now he's the general manager of Eastern Michigan, which is kind of funny. But just watching him, highlights of him on that field, that makes you feel like you had a stroke. Going to Charlie Batch's alma mater. Max Crosby, in the draft process, we called him Baby Jared Allen, just because of the motor, just because of the hustle, just because of everything, right? And Max Crosby has turned into not only one of the more dominant defensive ends in the league, but just spiritual leader. Yeah. He's good, man. Right. So that was definitely one where I was just like, draft him. Nah, didn't happen. Yeah. Anyways, Kirk Malo. How about Wall of America for the O-line nickname? So the Vikings offensive line, we've tossed out a bunch of iterations of nicknames. Wall of America, Mall, M-A-U-L of America, Five Guys, Jackson and Fries, or Kelly and Fries. Be good to go there. The Minnesota Movement Company, the Great Wall of St. Paul. I don't know. All of them are good, but Wall of America is good. Plus, remember what America, the Mall of America, used to be. I know it's Nickelodeon, whatever now. It will always be Camp Snoopy to me. But Wall of America is pretty damn good. I like it. Or, I don't know, maybe they'll just end up being the no-name offensive line. No-name offensive line that comes in and kick your ass. That's what we do. But that's it. Vikings Q&A for this beautiful Sunday. You guys are the best you know what to do. Skol. Production value.